Is it possible to go from $0 to $1 million while living in Jamaica, starting from scratch, without having any form of income, without having any form of connections? In this YouTube series, we're gonna be alright guys, so I'm gonna be starting this YouTube series to see if it's possible to go from $0 to $1 million while living in Jamaica. I haven't really seen a YouTube series or a YouTube video similar to this are done previously before coming from Jamaica. I've seen where some persons did it, are still doing it from the US, but I haven't really seen a video like this done in Jamaica. And Jamaica is a third world country, so it's gonna be a lot more difficult than someone doing a video like this who's living in a first world country like the United States, which is a first world country. So we're gonna give it a shot and let's see how far we can actually go with this. I'm gonna be trying to set a deadline as well, because we normally work faster or sometimes under pressure when we have a deadline to meet, even if we don't get the full completion of the task or the job. But once we have a deadline, we're gonna try to meet it. So we're gonna see if we can get this done by before the year ends. It might not happen, but even if it doesn't happen, we're gonna be further ahead than we are right now. We're gonna try to go for the moon. If we don't reach for the moon, at least we went up to the sky. If we didn't go up to the sky, at least we got to the treetop. At least we're off the ground initially where we started from. But first things first, we gotta look at what resources are what we have. And basically, since we're starting from zero, we basically have nothing. We have no money, we have no form of income, we have no form of job or anything. Alright, so what we're gonna be focusing on first is trying to get a job. So we're gonna be sending out some job applications. I'm gonna post some of the results. So I'm gonna be posting some of the results up on the screen further down. Basically, so we're gonna have to get a job first. Then we're gonna have to save some of the money that we get from the job and put that aside. The rest can go to like you know, bills or whatever, food and stuff like that. But we're gonna put aside some of the money that we save. So we're gonna save to invest basically. So we're gonna save then invest. But we also have got to look at the status of the country, the economic status of the country, and what's basically happening, because this is gonna help us to go further or is not. So basically, we're gonna have to follow up with the news. As you guys know, inflation is already happening in Jamaica. We see previously where there was an increase. Since the year started, we saw an increase in bus fares and taxi fares. So, and we also see an increase in gas prices. We also saw an increase in food. So basically, there's inflation happening, and inflation is basically just things on a general increasing. And also, we got news earlier in the year that there was going to be some form of printing of new money. We also know that when there is any form of printing of money, inflation normally happens. So that's also an increase in prices generally. And we already see the gas prices and so forth being increased. Now, that's either a good thing or a bad thing we can also capitalize on, because it's a bad thing in the sense that if you are poor, it's gonna be pretty difficult for you to buy stuff, basically, because everything is gonna be increasing, but you're gonna only be stuck with cash because you can't really afford anything. So everything is gonna increase, but you're gonna have this amount of money, and your money that you have can't really buy the things that are up here. Alright guys, so in order for us to get up off the ground, we gotta look at what is happening inside of Jamaica. As I said previously, we're gonna be reading articles, we're gonna be reading newspapers, keeping up to date with the, you know, whether it's the Observer, whether it's the Gleaner, whether it's all those form of, you know, information that's being put out to us. We're gonna have to be reading it, because this information is gonna keep us up to date to what's happening, what's trending, and what's not. Also guys, with that being said, we gotta look at the resources that, you know, Jamaica has, like what jobs are easier to get in. So the strategy is number one, we get a source of income, and that is applying for a job. We can try online surveys and online ways to make money, but that's gonna take a very long time, and the payout also takes months to get for some of them. So we're not gonna be looking at that. What we're gonna be looking at is to actually get a physical job. I know many of you guys probably not like that idea, but at least you're gonna know that that source of income is gonna be steady. All right, so we're gonna also be looking at our resources. So basically, look inside of your country to see what jobs persons can get with the minimum qualifications, and also very fast. You don't want to apply for a job that's going to take like 2 to 3 months and they reply back. I'll be looking at a job that we can actually get a response very fast. Research that was being done basically, and from what persons have informed me of, call center jobs in Jamaica, they reach back out to you pretty fast, more than the average job. Basically, I've applied for many of those already. I'm going to be posting some of the screenshots on the screen right now. So as you guys can see on the screen right here, I have been rejected by some of the call centers. And the funny thing is that the minimum requirement for some of these call centers are 3 6Es, maths and English included, but I have at least 26C, so that was pretty, I was pretty surprised, but it's expected from some of these organizations. This is what it is. We're gonna be applying for more jobs again. I also applied for solar installer job. I'm not sure, you guys can see that on the screen. So I applied for the solar job. I actually ended up getting the job, but the lady ended up changing her mind and gave it to somebody else. You guys can see the email for yourself, but as I said, we're gonna be applying for more jobs. It's expected that we're not gonna be getting every job that we apply for, but as I said, we're just looking at our resources to see what are the readily available jobs that we can get in the shortest time frame. Alright, so we're not gonna be looking for a job that's gonna take 2 to 3 months to give us a reply or feedback, because many times it takes a while for some jobs to reply back. But as I said, we're gonna be seeing what jobs we can get super fast. As I said, we're working with a deadline. The sooner we work with a deadline, is like you get the task completed very fast. As I said, we may not able to get the $1 million, but if we didn't get to the moon, we get to the sky. If we didn't get to the sky, at least we get to the treetop, and we are somewhat better off than where we initially started. Alright, so that's the main goal, that's the main focus right there. Second thing, guys, that we're going to be focusing on is that once we get that job, we get that income, that steady income that we are sure of, we're going to save that money, and basically we're going to save to invest. We're going to be looking at different types of assets that we can also invest in later on, but as I said, the main focus right now is to get a job, get that income which is coming in steady. Obviously, we know that we're not going to be able to get rich by 9 to 5 because that income is fixed, but at least we get that money that we save and we can invest later on. So we're going to see if we can also benefit from the inflation that's going to happen. As I said, guys, we expect to print new money. Also see where prices are being increased already. So what we can do is that since prices are expected to increase, so basically we can see what asset we can purchase. Persons who are going to be purchasing like land, any form of housing, they're going to benefit a lot, because what's going to happen is that with the increase in inflation, the prices for those things are going to go sky high, and those persons are going to see a return on their investment. So they're going to be seeing a lot of money coming in, and that's what we're going to try to hop on. We're going to try to hop on that inflation. Alright, so we're going to try to use it to the best of our advantage. Try to live below our means. So basically, anything that is taking money from our pocket and we're not seeing an ROI, a return on investment, we're basically going to cut it out. So if it's a monthly subscription where you're listening to like music or watching movies, we're basically gonna cut it off, because we're gonna be trying to save to invest, as I said. So we're gonna be living below our means, so we're gonna be spending a whole lot of money. Every money that we make from our work or from our side hustle, we're gonna be saving every single thing. And the best thing about it, we're gonna be putting it into something that can generate some form of cash flow for us. So that's what we're gonna be focusing on. So everything that's taking money from out of your pocket and is not replacing it, and you're not seeing an investment, you might want to cut it off. Guys, the next thing on our list is to actually start a business as well. We're going to be putting our money into assets, but we're gonna also start a business as well, because with a business it can scale. Our business has endless opportunities and endless potential. So we'll also be focusing on what business is needed in our country. So what business sector, our business industry is needed. If you can find the right one, you definitely know that you have hit the lottery ticket, because guess what? Once there's a need, there's always some form of money to be made in that field or in that industry. Basically, we're gonna be following the news. So basically, we're gonna be watching the news, following these news article pages on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you may use. We're gonna be we're gonna be keeping up to date with them, because they provide great information. We also know that they have business news. We show you the increase in gas prices, also show you the increase in the foreign exchange. Also, they show you where the dollar is at. You guys already know what stocks are performing well and what stocks are not performing well. So we're gonna be keeping up to date with those things also. A brief summary: we apply for some jobs, we establish our plan that what we're gonna do. So in the next episode, the next series to this, hopefully by that time we have secured a job and we're working and we're going to be saving and investing that money. Hit that like button and the subscribe button, because you guys do not want to miss an episode in this series. Alright, make sure you guys hit that like button and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.